What's up, guys? It's your boy BTN. We are back with a video, and it's Break the News. And we are with another video, and I am your host. I am the analyzer. I am the decoder of information. And we come back with live information about China trying to cover up the tracks to the COVID-19 outbreak, which we all know is a biological weapon that came from a laboratory in the Wuhan Institution of Virology. And there's a scientist by the name of Shi Singlei. Look her name up. Her name is Shi Singlei. She states that she feels that this virus came from the lab. And she works at the lab. She's a researcher, by the way. So go look into that. All right. Her name is Shi Singlei. Let's continue to watch this.
University reporting that nearly 3 million Americans have been tested for coronavirus. About 500,000 of those patients in New York State.
Now listen to this, guys. They're finna hit you with some numbers like 3 million, shit like that, right? Be careful when you hear these numbers, because these numbers mean signals, codes. These numbers are a number that they use for certain agendas and purposes. I don't really know the specifics, but I know certain numbers. Now, let's talk about it. He says over a million people in New York or whatever, right? So if you check New York, they have ventilators, hospitals. But when you go to the hospitals, when you go to all the hospitals and damn near all over the place, there is no people in the hospitals. There are no people in the ventilators. There are no people anywhere. These people are making up lies to fulfill their agenda. They're trying to make it seem like the COVID-19 is a real deal pandemic when it's really not that dangerous. It's just a bacteria virus that, you know, it's a mixture of different viruses, basically. A mixture of different illnesses, diseases that all combine together to make a whole damn destructive virus. So don't get lost in the sauce on that. And also don't get lost in the sauce on them trying to tell you that everybody is dying from this, because everybody's not dying from this. It's called media, guys. They make up numbers all the time just to prove a point. They make up numbers all the time, guys. Now, I'm not saying people are not dying, but when they go to those hospitals, those people are getting tested. And when you get tested, you're getting the actual virus, because there has been proven these testing kits actually have the virus inside of it. It's not even a conspiracy. But of course, they're going to call it a conspiracy because that's a deflective term to denounce truth tellers. Okay, let's go.
Here to talk about it, Dr. Amesh Adalja, infectious disease expert and senior scholar at the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security. Dr. Adalja, there was a piece in Newsweek that caught our attention. The title is that China is censoring research on COVID-19 origins, and that it deleted a page on Wuhan University website suggests. That according to the headline. According to a cached version of that page from the China University of Geosciences in Wuhan that Newsweek reviewed.
And you hear what they say? China is censoring research on COVID-19 origins. Why? Because they want you to know that the virus that was released was a biological weapon that was used to depopulate the world. Let's continue.
Requirements were updated so that scientists would need to have their study approved by China's Ministry of Science and Technology.
And it says, so the scientists will need to have their study approved by China's Ministry of Science and Technology before publication. So after I get done this video, I'm going to look into China's Ministry of Science and Technology, because why would you censor a bunch of scientists that study bacteria and what it is made of? And why would you censor them and tell them they can't be spreading information about so-and-so where it comes from? If you were to believe that this wasn't a cause and effect, or nothing happened in Wuhan, or that this virus wasn't created, then why would you have to censor scientists from releasing information about what could possibly be or what possibly could happen, right? Why are they censoring these scientists? That's the question. And we already know why. We already know.
Before publication. It sounds like China is still hiding something.
Yeah, it's very concerning anytime you see scientists being censored. We want free inquiry into scientific matters. We want the researchers in China to really be able to investigate everything about this virus. And I do think that this type of an action, where we still don't understand how this emerged, where it emerged, when it emerged, who patient zero might have been.
Okay.
Really just
So they said this reporter, this man right here was supposed to be a pandemic or a expert, right? And he's supposed to be a scientific expert. But yet he don't even have his own research when we just stated that where did it come from? He said we don't know where it comes from, where it originated from, how did it happen, when it happened. But yeah, you're supposed to be an expert. If you're an expert on the matters of what's going on, you're supposed to be researching these matters. And in fact, you're not even researching these matters. You're just stating, oh, we don't know where it came from, when it happened, or whatever. That's why you do research, so you can understand where the origins come from. But yet they're going to tell the researchers their conspiracy theories. No, we're just smart motherfuckers that understand the true knowledge of what's really going on. And it's a lot of motherfucking puppets that don't want to speak up about the true matters. That's not our fault. Let's go.
This is going to add to the mystery and fuel more conspiracy theories that detract from the response. So I do think...
So no. And he said this is going to add to the mystery of conspiracy theories. So now they say, just because we don't know where it came from or where it happens or where it originated, they're going to call everybody that researched about this Wuhan outbreak, what really happened. They're going to call everybody that researched the real deal. They're going to call all of us conspiracy theories because we're trying to research how it all happened. So what happened to actually trying to be curious and find out about what happens with information? What happens to people trying to actually find out the real information of what's really going on? Everybody wants to just play games, right? And say, when, how, where did it happen? We don't know where it happened. That's why you do research. That's why you study. That's why you look into things. That's why you investigate. It seems like the only people that's investigating is the so-called conspiracy theories, which is really the truth tellers. But you guys want to just dismiss our titles because you feel like we're a threat to your status. Let's continue.
It's in China's interest to allow research to freely be done without permission on this
topic. And let me stop you one more time. If they are censoring scientists that have studies on bacteria and they should know how all of this begins, why would they have to censor scientists that understand bacteria and trying to understand the origins? If this was so much called conspiracy theories about the origins of the coronavirus, why is the Chinese Communist Party censoring, or the Ministry of Technology, Chinese Ministry of Technology, censoring scientific studies? If this wasn't a conspiracy theory, right? Okay, you can't even answer me that. Let's go.
Well, one of the questions is, why is there so little of the disease in China? I mean, Wuhan is where it apparently broke out, but cities like Beijing, which are not that far away, are not severely impacted by all this. Meanwhile, Italy is thousands of miles away.
Now, look what they're going to try to do, guys. They're going to try to make up a lie and say this virus is not affecting China and that this virus is cooling down and Beijing is doing good and Beijing is not affected. But yet, this is where y'all talk about, y'all always say it, but yet y'all have a news report talking about putting a bill on China, talking about we want to give China a bill because they are the cause of the virus and they are the spread of all of the pandemics. Okay, how can you say Beijing and all these, and China doesn't even have it? That's what they're saying. They're basically saying China doesn't even have the virus, or they have it, but it's not that bad how it was made to be. Now everybody else got it but them. Or now everybody else got it more than them. You see how they try to switch the narrative up? How they try to make it seem like we got it more than they do? When actually it's no virus going on right now. It's just motherfucking fear-mongering going on. And people trying to switch your narratives up and trying to get you lost in the sauce. But don't get lost, people. Keep your eyes open because these people are playing magic with our minds. Let's do this.
United States, thousands of miles away, and we've got tremendous problems. Why?
I think it's important to understand that we don't know exactly what happened in China outside of those provinces, and we probably...
They said we don't know what happened outside of China. How not? Go to my... Guys, when you get done this video, go to my first travel. I have a video called What Happened in Seattle. In Seattle, there was a first travel case patient from Wuhan, China that came to America, and that was how the virus spread it throughout America originally. They never even covered it on the news, but they want to say stuff like, oh, we don't know how the virus got to America, or we don't know how the virus started traveling. The virus did never travel. It was never a virus that was traveling in the first place. What happened was they had CDC departments releasing viruses. We had news reporters reporting about viruses around March. All news report stations came reporting viruses around March. which means they knew which month to start reporting. Remember, guys, the coronavirus been going on since September and all through the year. But when March came around, that's when they started pushing it heavy. Because remember, March is it's springtime. When it's springtime, people start coughing and sneezing and having all types of allergies. So now it's a time where they can scare people into believing they got a virus. And now people go to the hospital believing they got a virus, and they end up getting a real virus from the testing kits. Think about it. It's all about timing. It's about timing, guys. Timing. Let's get it.
Never will get the full story. We'll need to do antibody testing in those other places to see why they may not have gotten it. They also had the ability to enact social distancing pretty quickly and stop it from going.
And listen what they're trying to do next. They're trying to say, oh, the reason why Beijing don't have the virus like that because Beijing practice social distancing, and that's why they don't. So you mean to tell me just because somebody don't touch nobody or they're not around somebody, they can't get the virus? What happened to? They said, okay. That case, why is the virus being broadcasted as a viral pandemic? If that's the case, if everybody got to practice social distancing, why aren't the politicians practicing social distancing? Why isn't Trump practicing social distancing? Why isn't all of these why isn't Bill Gates practicing social distancing? You see he's around lots of people every day. You see Trump is around everybody every day. All this is a setup, guys. They're trying to get us to commit to their agendas, and you have to see through the blinds. See through the narrative. Let's continue.
And I think that really most of the other countries, including Italy and the United States, were a little bit late to the game in trying to understand how best to contain the virus. And that may be somewhat responsible for it, because you do see other places like Taiwan, for example, and Hong Kong that have been able to relatively contain this, in Singapore as well. So I don't think it's just the other Chinese provinces, but this is clearly something that we still don't understand what happened in China, and we don't have full transparency.
So he said we don't have full Dr. Amish Adalaja, he says we don't know what happened, how did this happen, how did this go down, how whatever. But you're supposed to be an expert. They just told us that this man was an expert, right? But yet you don't even know what's going on. You don't even know what happened. How did the virus get here? I know how the virus got here. Why? Because I researched it. Why? Because I actually broke it down to the T. I'm investigating. You motherfuckers don't investigate. What y'all do is y'all try to push narratives so y'all can push an agenda. Think about it, guys. Come on. Like I said, if you want to know how the coronavirus started in America, go to my video called What Happened in Seattle, and it explains everything. Okay, let's go.
Yet.
What is going to be the key in your mind to reopening the economy? How are we going to reach a point where it is safe to put people back in face-to-face configuration?
I think it's not going to be a one-size-fits-all type of declaration. It's not going to be the whole country.
He says, I think it's not going to be a one-size-fits-all declaration, which means that everybody that's coming back into this economy, we're not going to all agree with the terms and conditions that's coming along with this new economy. Now, if you look at my other video I had about blame China, I talked about how they're trying to make everybody take vaccines and how the new economy is based off of vaccine and chips, right? He's saying not everybody, which is all Americans, not everybody's going to agree to the terms and conditions of the new economy that's finna come, which is the vaccine and the mandatory vaccines and the chips, right? So watch what he say after this. Listen.
There are places where there are going to be hotspots. There are going to be places where they have this under control. And really what it's going to be keyed upon is how prevalent is the virus in your community? How many people have been infected? What is your hospital capacity? The key political question for decision makers to make is, will these political decisions to open, overwhelm hospitals? And if they can open safely without overwhelming hospitals, I think that the answer in my analysis should be yes. And so it really has to key on hospital capacity, making sure we have enough personal protective equipment, ventilators, and ICU beds.
Now listen to this. He says it really depends on your state and your health and your whole city, right? On how everything is going. Then he also talks about the hospitals and the ventilators and everything like that sort. If you look at New York, they have over thousands of ventilators, right? But yet nobody's going to the hospitals. Nobody in America is going to the hospital, guys. Why? Because we know the hospital has the real virus in it. We know these testing kits, we know these COVID-19 testings have the real virus in it. and you're not going to fool us. The gig is up. The age of Aquarius is here. You are done. You are done. Let's go.
And if that's the case, I do think we can deal with opening some of these businesses. There may be still problems with mass gatherings, for example, but other things may be.
Listen, guys. There must be maybe problems with mass gatherings. So listen, guys. They're trying to keep us divided. The goal is for them to keep us divided. They're trying to keep us from communicating to one another. They're trying to keep the masses from going back to its normal condition unless everybody take those vaccines. That is what he's saying in subliminal terms. You got to be able to read the subliminality. He's speaking in subliminal terms. He is saying there are going to be business. They're going to be a little bit of business open. They're going to be a little bit of things going on, but the full economy won't open up until people take their vaccines. The full economy won't be back to normal or whatever they call it until people start getting back in order. And this is all a part of the what? The 5G network. Everything goes back to the 5G network. If you didn't watch my video about Kill Bill and his company, you're going to understand why everything makes sense, why it's going on right now. Okay? Okay, let's do it.
Be allowable, and I think you may have to see some modifications, but I think that's the way this is going, and hopefully soon, because there is a cost to these shutdowns that really is not captured by the models that are driving the shutdowns.
A significant and painful cost. Dr. Amesh Adalja from Johns Hopkins, an infectious disease expert there.
Now, guys, he's an infectious disease expert. Think about it. Use your mind. This man is an infectious disease expert, but yet he don't even know how this infection got started. He don't even know where the virus comes from. He don't even know where it originated from, but yet he's supposed to be an infectious disease expert. Get the fuck out of here. Guys, break that like button, break that subscribe button, break that comment section, break everything you touch because we are shaking up the world every day we wake up. Let's get it, guys. I love you guys. I'm out this motherfucker. Peace.